If you're looking to record some awesome garage rock, this video is for you.
How was I supposed to know?
In this video, I'm going to show you what to record and exactly how to record it. We're going to record drums, electric guitars, bass guitar, organ, and vocals. I'm going to show you what tones to use and how to modify them to best fit the garage rock sound. As always, there are timestamps in the description, and without any further ado, let's get started. First things first, let's record ourselves a scratch demo. Scratch demos recorded to a click are awesome because they give us something to play to as we record our tracks. It empowers us to hear how our song will sound from the very beginning as we slowly transform the scratch demo into our final recording. To record this scratch demo, I'm going to record a clean guitar and a vocal. For this, I'm not going to go into depth on the tones I'm using, as they will ultimately be deleted and replaced with our final takes. Today's song is called Hey Man, Chill, and it tells the story of a man who hooks up with a woman at a bar, only to find out that she's married to a gangster who's now out to kill him. We've all been there, you know? Let's set our click to 135 beats per minute and lay down our scratch demo.
I was sipping some wine in the back of a dive when a pretty little lady suddenly caught my eye. I took my chance and I asked her to dance. We got down to Funky Town and I filled up her glass. We talked and we laughed for an hour or two. Asked if we should dip and we could go get a room. I'm getting lucky tonight, but nothing turned out right. How was I supposed to know?
Let's dial in our drum tone. For today's song, I'm going to be using Easy Drummer 3. This is a loud rock song, so we're going to choose the Bright Room kit. From here, let's select the preset dropdown, tune track, and the big rock preset. I found this kit is particularly good with garage rock because of its snare drum. It has a very strong and almost pingy high resonance, which gives it that wild feel that you want in a garage rock song. To further modify this kit, I'm going to switch the kick drum. By default, it comes loaded with the 14x24 Ludwig Classic 3-ply maple kick. This is a solid kick, but it doesn't have the punchiness that I'd prefer in a garage rock song. So let's change it to the 16x22 Gretsch USA Custom kick. This kick cuts through the mix fantastically and really slaps you in the face on each hit. Lastly, to make this sound even more garage rocky, let's put the drum kit into a space that works well with our genre. Garage rock is known for being loud and in your face, so a short reverb will help give us that feel. Let's add an audio effect and select Space Designer. Once inside, let's select the preset dropdown, small spaces, indoor spaces, and restaurant. And we're going to set it to -17.5 on the wet. And with that, we're ready to record our drums.
I was sipping some wine in the back of a dive when a pretty little lady suddenly caught my eye. I took my chance and I asked her to dance. We got down to Funky Town and I filled up her glass. We talked and we laughed for an hour or two. Asked if we should dip and we could go get a room. I'm getting lucky tonight, but nothing turned out right. How was I supposed to know?
Moving on to the guitars. For the guitars, we have two primary parts: the verse, which consists of a simple riff, and the chorus, which consists of heavy open chords. And we're going to approach the way we record these two parts very differently. Starting with the verse riff, I want the guitar to sound like a single guitar. This is ideal because it leaves a lot of headroom sonically for the heavy guitars to blast in during the chorus. For this, I'm going to be using my Fender Stratocaster because the single coil pickups have a bell tone, and it lends itself beautifully to this type of riff. For the tone, I'm going to be using Neural DSP's simulation of the Mesa Boogie 2. I absolutely love this amp sim, especially alongside my Strat. Let's go ahead and select the preset dropdown, select Artists, Jack Gardiner, and select Dad Blues in it. This tone has an absolutely hilarious name, but boy does it sound awesome. To further dial this tone in, let's add a channel EQ. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out a good amount of the low end because it's a bit too bassy, and give it a boost to the treble to brighten it up a bit. Just like we did with the drums, let's put this guitar into a small space. Let's add an audio effect and select Space Designer. Again, let's look under the presets, small spaces, indoor spaces, and restaurant. For this guitar, let's set the wet output to -14. Lastly, since we're only recording this guitar once, let's add an imager to widen it up. An imager will take certain frequencies from your track and pan them far to the left and right. Imagers are a fantastic tool to give us the fullness of a double track while maintaining the character and charm of a single track performance. Let's go ahead and add an audio effect, select imaging, and stereo spread. By default, it'll be set to 100% on both the high end and low end, which is a bit wider than we'd want. So let's bring those down to 80%. And with our tone all dialed in, let's record our riff. Now that we got our main riff laid down, it's time to record the heavy part. For this, I'll be using my Telecaster with the humbucker pickups because they have a fatter and thicker tone, which works very well with distortion. For this heavy part, I'm going to record it twice, and each take is going to have a different tone. Both of these tones were created with Pod Farm, and I covered both of these tones in depth in my pop punk tutorial, so be sure to check out that video if you want to use these tones. The first tone is my crunchy distortion tone, which sounds like this. And the second tone is the metalcore master tone, which sounds like this. Independently and outside of a full mix, these tones may not sound all that special, but together in a mix, they sound awesome and work very well together. Lastly, to make these heavy guitars sound even wider, let's pan the first take to the right 45 and the second take to the left 45. Just like the stereo imager we used earlier on our verse riff, this will fill the stereo space and make it sound thick and full. And with all that done, we're ready to record our heavy guitars. To round out the low end of this recording, we need to record some bass. For this, I'm using my trusty Fender Precision Bass with the split coil pickups. For our bass tone, I'm going to be using Plug-in Alliance's simulation of the Ampeg B15N. The B15N is the most recorded bass amp of all time, which makes it a phenomenal amp sim to have on hand. For our tone, let's click the preset dropdown and select solid bass, no horn. With no adjustments, it sounds like this. In my opinion, this tone has too much treble and not enough bass. So let's go ahead and lower the treble to around 12 o'clock and raise the bass to around 3 o'clock. This is a prime example of a tone that doesn't sound all that great when you hear it by itself, but in the mix, it sounds absolutely fantastic. It has a super rich low end, and it cuts through the mix very well without conflicting with the other instruments. I love it, and it's officially become my go-to bass tone. With that, let's lay down our bass. The only other instrument I want to add to this song is the organ. The organ is an essential instrument in the history of rock, and its shiny goodness will help build upon our song by elevating our heavy guitars during the chorus. For this, I'm going to be using the power chord organ that comes stock in Logic, and it sounds like this. This organ sounds great, but it's actually a bit fuller than I'd like it to be. All we really want is the shiny high end, but by default it has a lot of low and mid-range, which will conflict with our other instruments. To fix this, let's go ahead and open up our channel EQ and make a strong cut to everything below 1000 Hertz. And now we're ready to record. Last but certainly not least, it's time to lay down our vocals. Since this is a loud rock song, it's imperative that our vocal cuts through the mix and remains audible throughout. To achieve this, I'm going to be using a compressor called gain reduction with these settings, and it sounds like this.
I woke up this morning and I got myself a gun.
Just like we did with the drums and guitars, putting these vocals into a small space will contribute a lot to the garage rock sound. So as you can probably guess, we're going to add an audio effect and space designer. And again, we're going to click the preset dropdown, select small spaces, indoor spaces, and restaurant. Negative 19.5 on the wet should be just about perfect, and it sounds like this.
I woke up this morning and I got myself a gun.
Without any music, that may have sounded a bit harsh, but like I've said multiple times throughout this video, when you put it into the context of a full mix, you'll be amazed at how good it sounds. So with that, we're ready to record these vocals. But really quick before we do, I just want to let you guys know that if you like recording music and you want to learn how to do it the way that I do, you should check out my new course, Spare Bedroom Studio. Spare Bedroom Studio is the first course specifically designed for songwriters to teach them how to go from an idea to a polished final recording in their home studios. The course is taught in exactly the same way as this YouTube video, except much more detailed and thorough. If that interests you, be sure to click the link in the description to learn more about that. And without any further ado, here's my very first garage rock song.
walking straight toward my door, holding up 44. There's nowhere to hide this time, but I got a plan. I'm gonna dig my heels in and fight like a man. And when he opened the door, he got more than he bargained for. Feel the wrath of my 44. Gonna die, but at least I know I shot you down, I stole your
And there we have it. Did you enjoy the song? If so, be sure to check it out again on all the major streaming platforms. My artist name is Spencer Austin, and the song we just recorded is called Hey Man, Chill. Here on YouTube, I'm always writing and recording music and sharing tips and tricks, so if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. And leave me a comment letting me know what you'd like to see next. With all that being said, this has been Songs by Spencer, signing out.